And so the next section will be by Sister
Out of
Guanying.
Spiritual Home, 近似 Abode by Shen Guanying from Tzu Foundation, Cultural and the Historical Department. Jing Abode has been almost 60 years. So let's look at the movie about the history. Here, Master is talking about the story of her cultivation in the wooden hut. Master took refuge under Venerable in Shen. She took the full precept at Happy and moved into the wooden hut. On the screen, we can see the Puming Temple. When we circle the wooden hut, it's a little over 105 square meters. In the hut, Master copied the Lotus Sutra every day, and she burned incense on her arm. Master says, listening to this, it felt like I was listening to a story of another person. I felt two sentiments. One being that it was not easy, it was hard time. The other being that I was impressed. I admired and grateful looking at the Jing Abode. At the beginning was only 125 square meters. At the beginning, the abode was very small. It was just 125 square meters. This little area was our all-purpose room. The little area was our all-purpose room. We slept there at night. During the daytime, we conducted affairs. This is from the Life Wisdom, describing the abode. You can see the origin of the Tzu Foundation. Although the pictures are a little fuzzy, but you can still see our history. You can see the steps that we walked through. You will hear her telling us the story. In 2024, in the beginning, Master's mother donated the land for building the abode. The small abode was not only the Buddha hall, but also the office. To internationalize Tzu, this abode has been rebuilt 20 plus times. Teacher Mei said she's been with Tzu for more than 30 years. Every time you visit the Jingsi Abode, you will see some improvement. Yeah, it's not built just like that in one day. The roof, the tiles are all very special. We were grateful for the Dai TV to keep this wonderful record of our history. Because of the time, I cannot show you the whole 6 minutes of video. And if you have time, look at the Life Wisdom, 12 minutes. The best way is you put this QR code in the back of your cell phone for the Da'ai TV. Join the Da'ai family. If you become a friend of Da'ai TV, you will have the most up-to-date news about Da'ai TV. And this is a wonderful way to purify all people's hearts, including the typhoon recently. And our abode was damaged by the typhoon. So many volunteers from Taipei, Taichung, and Tainan went back to the abode to help the recovery. Okay, let's welcome Sister Guanying. I love to be with you because you have positive energy. Hi, Sister Guanying. Thank you for coming. We're looking forward to your story. Thank you. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share with you, Master, Dharma, Abode Masters, and the Tzu family all over the world. Good day. I'd like to share. Thanks to Vice President Ho and Director Ring for leading the Cultural and Historical Department to trace Tzu history. So now we're going to wait for Sister Guanying to put her PPT on the screen. Because she cannot come to Kaohsiung, and she's doing it online. Okay, now we see her PPT. Now you can start, Sister Guanying. Thank you, Teacher Ming. Jing Abode is the home for Tzu volunteers all over the world. It's also our spiritual home. 2024 marks the 55th anniversary of the Jing Abode. The abode is the spiritual home of Tzu members. Every Tzu commissioner returns home to trace their roots before receiving the certificate and the ribbon of Buddha's heart and teacher's aspiration. This is our master's expectation and Jing disciples' responsibility. I will start from the origin of Jing Abode, also the origin of our Dharma lineage, where Master settled in Hualien. In 1963, Master took refuge with Master Ying Shun, received full ordination at the Lingji Temple in Taipei. She returned to Hualien and practiced in a wooden hut behind Puming Temple for 6 months. Every day, she worshipped and transcribed the Lotus Sutra. It was the calmest and the most concentrated period for her. She realized that Buddha came to the world to teach the Bodhisattva Dharma and guide people to practice the Bodhisattva path. She wanted to practice the Dharma in the human world, as the mission Master Ying Shun gave her, for Buddhism, for sentient beings. Due to insufficient cause and condition and the strong typhoon, Master left the hut and was invited to lecture at Charity Temple. The origin of our Dharma lineage, Mr. Xu Congming built a wooden hut for Master's spiritual cultivation. It is the birth place of Ciji World, about 50 meters behind Puming Temple, circled in this photo. The hut is circled here behind Puming Temple. At first, we didn't know where it was. With Master's confirmation and guidance, we found it. Here is the third location after 2 moves. Puming Temple on Beipu Farm is the Heisai Taiga Bodhisattva Temple, rebuilt by Mr. Xu, Ming, and the local gentry. Taiwan was under martial law then. You need a mountain entry permit at a control point, where the Jiaming police station is now, to enter Puming Temple. Master felt very familiar with it when seeing for the first time, because it had appeared in her dream. When she was 15 years old, she prayed to Guanying Ma for the recovery of her mom's stomach ache. The temple appeared in her dream for 3 days. Behind Master's mom is Puming Temple. Now it's surrounded by French doors. Mr. Xu and his wife, Huang Yumei, are both devout Buddhists. Although rich, they always wear plain clothes and eat simple food. They observe the precepts strictly and practice diligently. Mr. Xu is willing to give alms, like a contemporary Siddhartha. The one on the left is Mrs. Xu. Our master looks very young and dignified. She makes people happy. Yeah, the Hualien residents respected Mr. Xu and called him the Siddhartha, a contemporary Siddhartha. There was a high voltage power tower on the right of the hut. Master could often hear the crackling sound of the wires. The hut is very small, only about 10 square meters. Master copied and worshipped every word of the Lotus Sutra every day. She only ate 1 meal and slept 2 hours a day. But her mind and body were at ease, minds tranquil and clear, and vows vast as the universe. That pure and thorough state. After the perfect prayer every lunar 24th, Master burnt incense on her arm to offer Buddha, because she had nothing else to offer. Why did she burn her arm? Because that was the only thing she could offer. In the Jing Abode, the hut where Master practiced meditation is rebuilt to a 1-to-1 scale. The interior is less than 10 square meters, with a picture of 3 saints of the West in the shrine, a table, and a small bed. If you go back to the Jing Abode to visit, you can see this. Yeah, Master used to sleep behind the Buddha's hut. Buddha's niche.
他后来离开小木屋之后，就到基隆的那个海会寺去结下缘。
In 1964,
那回来
Master
之后
went
呢，
to
就回来之
Haihui
后，他
Temple
来到
in
东晋
Jilong
寺，
for
在
the
这个
summer
东晋
and
寺
was
开办
invited to lecture
佛
at
法。
Dongjing Temple.
那在
Master's
东晋
lectures at
讲
Charity
完佛法
Temple
之后，回
attracted
来
many
结
people.
束之后，就带
She
着
also became
这个三
friends
十
with
人到普
Master
明寺来
Si
修行。
En
那
and
其
Rong.
实上人那时候之所以会离开小木屋，当然是有一些因缘。
Originally,
后
our
来又
master
回
did
来，
not accept
因为真的
disciples
是上
due
人是
to
一
their
再讲
karma.
他要修
All
行的
three
佛法，
masters took
但是只好
refuge.
暂时住在普明寺。那在普明寺呢，其实旁边还有一个木板房，
After the
那
Mid-Autumn
这两面是
Festival,
木板房。
Master
那上人
Tzu
带着
moved to
弟子，
Puming Temple.
上人的弟弟
At
在
the end of the
在
year,
这个
Master
普明
and
寺
her
法师
disciples
有
returned to
回来
Puming Temple
很多
and
的
lived
学
in a
生就
small
回来
wooden
听
house on the
听到上
side.
人讲经说法，都很欢喜。
Master
那
and
我
her
们分享几
disciples
个
lived there and
那
supported
大家
themselves
都知道，
by
大家都
doing
知道上
crafts
人的最早
without
的
receiving
恩
any
师
offerings from
师
others.
傅、荣师傅、恩师傅，都是在当时就皈依上人，所以就一
We
起
are
来
we are all
跟着上
familiar
人
with
修行，
Master
到我们这个
Si,
普明寺旁边
Master
的这个小
En,
木
and
屋，
Master Rong.
这个木板房。那这个木
The
板
early
房其实
disciples
空间
are
很小，
Master.
那它里面呢只有3个房间，每个房间只有2个榻榻米的大小。那有时候要睡好几个人真的是很挤很挤。
Sometimes 6 or 7 people lived there, and each room was only 3.24 square meters.
那
Tzu Merit
功德会主持的
Association
第
was
一人呢，
established
就是有
then.
3位修女来
The
见上
round
人。
table inside
其实
is
在这个
where
地
the
方
3 nuns
也是
discussed
修女
creed
来见上
with
人
our
的地方。
master.
那我们其实那时候一直以为说是在小木屋时期，后来我们跟上人座谈的时候才知道说，原来修女来见上人是在这个木板房这里。因为那时候上人跟我们讲说，小木屋那么小，
Yeah,
怎么
originally we
住得
thought the
下？
3 nuns
所以这时候
visited
才知道
Master
原来
at
是
the
在
small
这个
hut,
木板
but
房这个
actually
地
it's
方。
here in the wooden house.
那我们可以看到当时的普明寺，
Because the
当时
small
的
hut
普明
was too
寺
small
呢，
to
其
fit the
实
3 nuns.
跟现在有一点不太一样，就是哇靠啊，它外面其实是通透的，现在是
At
围
that
起来
time,
了
Puming
现在是一个
Puming
门板。
Temple is like
那
this.
这是当时的一个
It's
普
a
明
little
寺。
different from now.
那我们看到右边2位是平惠勇跟庄氏老菩萨，那这2
2
位老
old
菩萨呢，最
bodhisattvas,
早跟着上人
Ping,
一起皈依。
Huiyong,
那
and
荣师
Zhuang
傅、恩师
Zi
傅还有慈
gave
师
Master
傅
full support.
几位在普明寺一起修行的那这2位老
On
菩
the
萨
right
是
of
大护
Puming
法，
Temple
非
was
常
the
的尊
final
崇上
position
人。
of the
那我
hut.
们可以看到这张照片的右后方有一
Yeah,
个
these are all the
地方，这个就是
disciples
小木屋，最后搬到这
cultivating
里
at the
去。
Puming Temple.
那其实上人带着弟子在这个木板房这边修行，
Yeah,
非
on the
常
right,
的
you can see
困
the
难
little
生活
hut.
非常的清苦那因为上
When
人是
first
从
inspired to
家就
be
立下不
a
受供养的
monastic,
原则
Master
所
established the
以呢，
principle of
带
not
着弟子们
receiving offering
自己
and
织布
our
织衣
Jingsi
做
family
手工
tradition,
还有
self-reliance
做
and no
这个
work,
租了
no
农地
food.
租了5分地
After
开始
settling down in
种花生种红
1965,
薯
all
那手工也
masters
做了很多
started
在最早
knitting
的时候不只是
sweaters
织毛
and
衣
doing many
最
other
开始是织
handcrafts.
毛衣，然后补水
They
牛奶，
also
或者是
rented
哄婴儿水
4850 square
棉花
meters
水
of farmland to
那
plant
真的是非
peanuts,
常非常的
sweet potatoes,
困难，生
etc.
活非常的克勤克俭那这个也奠定
Well,
了我们日后的一个静思家风。所以现在
they
在
also
海
made
会
baby
寺都可以看
shoes,
到金色很多的
very,
花纹
very frugal
那
and
师傅
diligent.
们就是自己工
That's
作自给自足，自己
set
也
the
开农场，
foundation
有
for
自己
Jingsi
的
family tradition.
我们的协力厂做益豆粉就是
Yeah,
小
even
朋友
now,
开始做一些
the
工
masters
具
at Abode are
其实做
still
住就是自
doing
自力更生我
chores
们
every day.
不只是自力更生，而且还要支持我们的慈济作为慈济的后盾。
Yeah, they are all
那其实
based
经
on
过
self-reliance
大家
and no
应该是
work,
可以
no
感
food.
受到那种真的是
All masters were not experienced in farming and had to try over and over again. The process was very difficult, as shown by the touching photos from that time. Master encouraged her disciples that the Jing Dharma lineage is self control, diligence, frugality, and overcoming difficulties. In addition to support themselves, we should be the backup force for the big Ciji family. Everyone abides by the principles from the beginning until now. This is the Jingsi family tradition. They did 21 handcrafts then, but more now, including 5 grain powder, etc. There were very few people to work. In addition to in addition to make their own living, they had to support Ciji Merit Association, so they used the factory as a dojo. Life was so hard that they had to pick wild leaves. Since eating vegetables was not enough, they sometimes bought 50 cents of tofu, cut into thin slices, pickled with salt, and fried in a little oil before eating. One piece of salty tofu could last them for a week. Life was really difficult then.
要吃的时候就煎一下，然后煎的咸的这样就可以吃很多饭下来配饭哈，所以我们真的是看的真的是非常的不舍哦，当时生活是非常的辛苦的。
Yeah, because it's salty, that's why it can last a long
农
time.
历3月24号这一天，其实后面我会跟大家讲哦，我们功德会成立的日子大
After
概
the
是
establishment
1966年
of the Merit Association in 1966,
上人定下
their lives became even more difficult.
功德会成立的周年纪念日哈，周年日。那
There were so few people and so little money, but they still moved forward to do charity work. Master was always looking for a dojo. Thanks to the karma, Master's mom bought the land and the abode was completed in 1969.
其实，在金色要盖金色是非常的不容易哈，因为当时
Under
大
such
家都
diff-
知道上人又不接受供养，然后又要做慈济哦，所以真的是要盖金色，真的是非常的不容易。
Under such difficult conditions, we still distributed
当时
monthly
呢，法
cash
人会成
aid
立
and
的因缘
supplies
呐、
to the care
法人会成立的
recipients
因缘
and treated them
3个因
lunch.
缘嘛哈，就
When
是
more people
一场
came
雪大家
than
都
the
知道，
porridge cooked,
那再来就是
we
3位
had
修
to
女
keep
来，
adding
再来就
water.
是
Sometimes we
其
had
实
to
当
borrow
时
oil
上
and
人
rice
在
from Puming
在
Temple.
花莲这么的
When we
辛苦
paid them
没有
back
自己
after the monthly
经商，
charity
所以那时候
distribution,
想要
there
把
was
上人
no
的
money left.
召回，就是跟上人说，哎，到嘉义的妙云兰若那边施工有一个道场，哦，要给上人带着弟子到那边修。那因为花莲的这些信众呢，真的很不舍上人哦，所以就联名
At that time,
请向施工成
Master
员，希
Yin
望上
Shun
人能够
was
给
going
他。
to give
那因为
Master
这3个
a
因缘
dojo
呢，
in
所以上
Jiayi
人
County,
跟
but,
弟子们说，
but her
如果你们
followers
要我留
did
下
not
来
want
教
to
你
let
们，
her
那
go.
就是大家
So she
跟我
said,
一起来做慈
she
济。
told her 30
所以就
disciples that if you
30
can
位家庭
save
主妇跟30个
50
竹筒
cents,
哈，竹筒岁月的故事。那这30个
let's,
家庭主
if
妇
you can all do
30位
this
信主
every
的，他们
day,
就从
save the
花
money
莲
for charity work,
从
then I will
再
stay
来
in
4桶
Guanying.
竹筒到嘉
This
义
is the
市
story of the
呼
bamboo
吁大家，就是要
banks.
买菜的时候省5毛
These
钱，然
30
后
housewives
引起
every
效应
day
就
they
开
save
始
50
这个
cents
整
in
个
their
的动
bamboo
量
bank.
哈。
They also
其实最早
quote
55年最早
the
我们在开始做发放的时候，不
the
只是发放补助金，
folks in the
还要让
market
受户户们
their
用
story.
他
They
们
say,
的
oh,
财
then we
产
can
回
start
家，
saving
所
50
以
cents a
那
day.
一段时间真的这么困难的生活，又要
Under
呼吁
such difficult
家庭主照
conditions,
顾户们，还有一起来参加法会，因
they
为在
had
发放
to
的时候都有
distribute
邀请
monthly
法
cash
会，
aid and
一起来
supplies to
参
the
加
care
法会的这
recipients
些会
and
员呐、
treated them
委员
lunch.
呐、一起共餐，就是都煮咸粥。那人越来越多呢， 那个米都不够了，所以就赶快再加
Lots of
水哈，
people having
根本
lunch.
就不够了，
So
就
when
再
more
加水。
people came,
所以我
then
们
the
就会看到
porridge
说，哎，
cooked.
看到那
We
一
had
张
to
照
keep
片的
adding
下
water.
方，在
Sometimes
上面就
we
是
had
讲
to
到
borrow
米
oil
在
and
哪里
rice
哈，
from Puming
看
Temple.
到这个锅子在这里煮哈，啊，一直加水，那就是越来越大锅这样子哈。那其实那个
A
水
grain
就
of
是从
rice
地
can
底下
hide the
流
sun
出
and
来
moon,
哦。
and a small pot
那
can
这里
cook
边的这
mountains
个
and rivers.
就把整个
On the
地景都
top, you
告
can
诉
see
我
the
们。
hut
那
on
其
the top
实
by the large cooking pot
这
in
个
the
叫
open
做日
air.
月啊，半生锅里煮山河啊。其实这个一油粒米都是上人跟弟子们日日月月辛勤农作，做手工去累积出来的。好，我们看到这张照片呢，小木屋真的
Every
是大
drop
的
of
地方
oil
就
and
是
every
非
grain of
常有
rice
质了哈。
are the hard
上人已
work
经住在
of
里
our
面了哈。
master
这
and
是
her
启
disciples.
明寺旁边这个地方的木板房了。
Look at the little hut
那发
here.
放的时候就是这样子在后
Mm.
面煮。那下面这张照片就是那个发放的照
At
片。
this time, our master has moved to the wooden house by the
那
Puming
因
Temple.
为因为上人其实
And
早期
only
来到
during
东海
the
之
charity
前，他就一直
distribution
在找
they
修行的
cooked
地方。那因
lunch
为
here.
熟妈真的是很不舍上人这样辛苦带着弟子住在
We
这
also
里
saw the
面，
50 plus care
所以
recipients got their
熟
monthly
妈呢
supplies
护持
in
上
the
人住
second
在
year of
普明寺
Tzu.
前方一甲半的农地
Thanks to
的
Master's
上面。
mom
那也
for,
是我
for
们现
buying
在
a
自己的宿
farmland
舍
in
的这块土地。
1967.
那这块土地呢，常住呢，就是上人那时候就想说，哎，我们还是要有自己的道场啦，所以就用这块地来贷款来盖金舍。那上人出家
Master
呢，
had to use the
终
land
于
to
要
get the
盖自己
loan
的
to
道场。
build the
那这个
abode.
金舍就在1968年的2月5号动
It
土，
was very hard to make monthly
在
charity
2015年的1
distribution
月
and
10
mortgage
号
payment.
完工启用。好，那
They
这个
gritted
金
their
舍
teeth
呢，
and worked
是
hard to
谁来
make
盖
ends
的？
meet.
是其实那时候
Jing
是净
Abode
贤师
broke
姐的
ground
先生
on
金
February
贤
5th,
师姐，他是早
1968.
期的委
The
员。
lead engineer
哦，
said,
他先
"It's
生
not
是
a
黄颖
lucky
杰，
day," Master said.
黄颖
Every
杰
day is a
他
lucky
是
day. The
政
abode
府
was
的上
completed
面
on
的
May
负责
10,
人。哦，那上人
1969,
本
and
身
put
也
to
是
use
很
immediately.
专业，
There was
他
no
他也
inauguration
是这个木
ceremony.
板
We
房
just
哦，
started
他
using
也
it.
承包了我们
The
这个
solemn
金舍的
abode
所
was
有。
designed by
那
Master.
因为他
We
很早，
wondered
所以
what
就转给下面的
architectural
包租的
design
谢章才
it
先
was.
生来承揽
It's
这个
just a
金
style
舍。
of
哦，那
dojo
当然
in
呢，我们
Master's
先
mind.
生他
Sister
他
Jing Xian's husband,
他其实
Mr.
年少
Huang,
非常
a
的
big
勇敢。
entrepreneur,
哦，那谢
contracted
章
the
才呢
project.
交给谢章之
Then
后，
he
就马
entrusted
上
the
让他来
contractor, Mr.
哦
Xie
盖金舍。那
Zhang
谢章
Cai
才呢，
to
他
undertake the
自己后来也
construction.
回来金舍见上人。哈，谢
Mr.
章才呢
Xie
回忆到说，
recalled that Master was
他
really
第一个帮上人
extraordinary and
盖金
admirable.
舍的时候，他说：“师傅啊，实在是
Master's
不简
health
单
was
啊，
very
那时候
poor,
身体就很
but
差，
she still
就
busily
现
worked
在还在为
for
众生
sentient
奔忙。
beings.
哈，所以他看
Mr.
到
Xie
上人的那个坚定
liked
不
the
移的
abode
意
very
志啊，
much and
就
kept
是说，哎，
photos
这
of the
位这
construction.
位就是谢章才先生。哈，那他在2004年的时候也有回来金舍，也带来了很多照片。那也很
He
感
came
恩，
back
因
to pay
为
homage
他
to
很喜
Master
欢
in
拍照，所以我们现
2004,
在才会
where
看
Master
到
encouraged
金
him
舍
to be a
上面的这
volunteer.
个老照片。
Later, he volunteered to
这
play
是
music at
在
Tzu
手
Hospital.
工的
In
建筑的过程中的
2016,
照片。哈，我们来
at
看一
90,
下那个
he
画
came
面。
back
哈，
for the year-ending
这边
blessing.
呢
He was
是
very happy
老
to
先生他
see
在
and
2019
pay
年的时候
respect to
才参加你
Master.
的岁末祝福。哈，那这个是当时啊在盖金舍
After
的
the
情况。哈，
groundbreaking of the
那
abode,
其实
our
在盖
masters
金舍的时
worked
候，上人
on
都在
small
看
construction
看日子。
projects during spare time to
就
save
看
money.
日子，就是随时都
Mr.
可以做
Shea
工。哈，那也
remembered
也让
how
谢章惭
heartwarming
愧。
the whole
当
process
然
was.
上人说日日
When
都是好
installing
日
the
子，
roof
所
beam,
以这个就
masters
这样完工
cooked
了。那为了节
glutinous
省经
rice
费
balls
呢，
for everyone.
我们常住在这
Finally,
边做
the
手
abode
工。
was
其实
built
他
from
这个金舍在
scratch.
盖的时候，他
Here
也
you
都
can see a
也
rice
都
field in the
叫
front
说我们
and
的这
very
个师父
desolate
啊，我们很多
around.
的菩萨们都会回来。哈，一起来盖自己的家。哈，一起来支援。好，所以真的是
Here,
这样
all
子
the
的很
masters
可
are
怜。哈，你
working
可以看到
during
当时
their
的照
spare
片。
time
那除了谢章才先生的照片之外，还有林慧
because
玉居士
Master said we all need to work together to build our own home. These are the early photos Mr. Xie kept in his record. The photographer was Mr. Lin Yingju. He's also the husband of one of our senior sisters. From zero to something. And you can see how how big a struggle it is.
终于要盖好了哈，我们可以看到从刚刚到现在，终于要盖好了，前面都还是稻田哦，哈。那这个是金色刚盖好的时候，我们可以看到这个画面。那其实快要完工，上人那时候有一直在问说，哎，you
can see the rice field in the front.
当时也当用啊，可什么时候可以进来使用啊？那在这里呢？
Master wanted to use it as soon as possible. There's no need for inauguration ceremony. The surrounding area was still very messy. They just tidied up and went in. On the day of completion, the first 7-day Buddha's retreat was on. This became a tradition to complete the 7-day Buddha's retreat on the anniversary of Ciji. When built, there was only one main hall and no kitchen. So they used the remaining building materials to build a kitchen with dining hall, the one circled. Later, during the expansion of the abode, the demolished bricks, earth, and stones made a new foundation.
所以我们就可以看到说，哎，这张照片是一个当时我们周年庆的时候游轮登上有志工做了一个模型哈。
So Master says, we are very environmentally friendly from day one.
那除了这个旁边这个厨房之外，我们也可以看到前面，我们现在回来金色都会看到旁边有一个莲花池，好，这是一个台湾。
In front of the abode, this pond in the shape of Taiwan was built directly by Master and her disciples.
手工来砌造的哈。那时候呢，上人就说，因为
We did not know the need of wearing gloves when mixing cement, a strong alkaline, so their hands were corroded and bleeding.
就是把那个石头缝就这样填塞起来哈，结果做完之后手都流血了哈，所以当时是这么克难哈，连莲花池连这个水池都是自己手工自己打造的。好，那这边是不是请我们高雄这边来帮我们
the life was really tough. Whenever you enter the main gate of the abode, you can see this pond on the right. In this video, Master designated lunar 24th of March as the anniversary of Ciji. Master's charity work is accumulated gradually, not just started after finding a date. And on that day, we will move in because we were living at Puming Temple, a place that we had borrowed. My mind could not be at ease. We would feel more at ease once we had our own home. We could settle our minds, dedicate the Buddha statue. Once our minds had settled in that place, the statue would be considered installed. The workers worked hard to meet their deadline, and then we did a brief cleaning. Actually, there was nothing to clean because the place was empty. So we just wept and wiped for a little while. The next morning, we burned our first incense. Our morning serves a 7-day Buddha's retreat, or more like mini retreats. There were only a few people, no more than 10, including us and everyone else. No more than 10. We began early in the morning with circumambulating the Buddha. When they finished the walking meditation, I started to give teachings. This was when the first incense was burned. Since then, every year I always say, March 24th on the lunar calendar is the anniversary of Ciji Foundation. Please keep in mind that the real anniversary on March 24th began in 1969.
好，感恩。
Please remember this.
我们在民国58年的农历3月24日这一天呢，金色大殿启用，那第一次举办佛七法会，所以也是
The small abode was completed and put to use on May 10th, 1969. Compared with the hut by Puming Temple, it's really very
大
large.
殿这个38平的空间里面啊，真的是非常的克难，我们可以看到这一张图哈。那
We made good use of the 125 square
它
meters.
又是又
It
是
was
走
used
廊又是
for
办公室，
morning
又
and
是
evening
会客室
classes,
好
a
那
dormitory,
如果
a
有
reception room, and office
会
of
用
the
佛
Merit
法的人回
Association.
来，那其实常住还要把疗房
I
给
asked
封
Master
起
about
来
the
哈，
space
那
planning.
挤一
Master
挤这样，
said
大
they
概
used Japanese sliding
在
door
运动有活
partitions.
动的时候呢，
They are
这
movable
个
and
疗房也
removable.
通通都要
When
拆下
removed,
来，
a
全部
large space
变
is
成我们
created
变
for
成一个大
events.
空间这样。
On weekdays,
那
the
可以看
space
到
was
说
partitioned
秀
into
丽
offices.
我们叫做秀
The
丽门，它是
Humanities
有一个
Lecture Hall now
自己
also
的
has
空
sliding
间，
doors to make the
让顾客
space
来
easy
用，
to
这个
use.
可活动
You
式
can
的
see
拉
the
门。
design on the
那
picture
可以
here.
看到这个照片中可以看到说，我框起来这个地方，
And the
这个
yellow
是可以
colors
拉
are
门的
those
这个
sliding
门，
doors.
然后后面这个就是那个当时的那个秀丽门哦。其实我们现在金色很多空间也都
It
是
was
这样
really
运用，上人真的
difficult
非
to
常
deal
的
with the
有
limited
智慧
space
哦，
in the
那
abode.
就是利用这个拉门的空间收合，就可以做成
Yeah,
很
the
多的用途。好，
in the
那早期呢，
red
真的
squares
也
and
是很
rectangles are the
你看
sliding
那
doors.
么小的空间，那上人就常常要坐在地上讲经说法，为什么呢？因为空间真的是
It
很
was
有
really
限哦。
difficult to deal with the limited space in the abode. In the early days, Master did not have a
那
good
有的
lecture
自
hall.
己坐在地
She
上
had to
呢，
sit
要
on the
自己做
floor
法
in
事，
front of
然
Buddha's
后带
niche
领
to
自己做
lecture.
早晚课。那其实有时候呢，上人就看到这张照片，也是常常会讲到说，当时
And she
因
has
为有时候
to
还要自
do
己
the
看录音机，那常常
Dharma
就是讲
instruments
讲不
herself
一样
too.
的，所以有时候就是录音，就是录音带，早期是录音带，跟现在不一样。早期是录音带，
And
就是
she
要
also
人
had
跟
to
着
play
唱，
the
那时
tape
间就会跑
recorder
掉了，
herself too,
所以常常就是非常
multitasking.
的困难，就是上人就要自己执法器，还要自己
The
录
tape
音，还要自己
recorder in the old days
带
were
着弟
takes
子这样子
time
做
to
早晚课，就是讲经说法都是这样。好，那我们也可以看到说，
run.
这个金色盖好之后呢，我们终于在这里开始有自己的家，好，开始第一次的冬令发放，就是在金色这边做第一
After the
次的
abode
冬
was
令发
built,
放。
we could do
那
the
我
winter
们不晓得当
distribution
时发
there.
放是在普
It
明
was
寺，
not easy
那
for the
金
first
色盖
time.
好之后，来到金色这里，大
15
家都
tables
选
were
了这
set
个
up
空
for
间，
the
在这
care
边做活
recipients
动。
to have
那
hapa
当时
lunch
我们这个
together.
还是做得很澎湃哈。
In the
那这
photo,
边
you
是
can see the very beautiful roof
邀请小
tiles.
夫妇一起围
They
炉，
are
然后
Japanese
大家
black
带回来的
tiles.
物资回家。哦，好，那我们从上一张照片呢，可以看到当时的屋瓦是很漂亮的，金色的
And you
屋
can
瓦
see
很
the
漂
care
亮。
recipients
就是这个
took a lot of
日本
supplies
的
back home
可是我们现
after
在下
lunch.
面这一张照片就看到，哎，这个屋瓦
However,
怎
there
么
are
会这
many
样？
typhoons in the
那
east.
其实因为
They
大家都知
often
道花莲台
sweep
风很
over
多，
from
哦，
Hualien
东部这
and
边
blow away the
台
roof
风如果我们
tiles.
东部这边登陆的
Soon
话，
after
势就会很
completion,
强
a lot
哦。
of roof
那这
tiles
个
fell
刚
off
的
whenever
法会
typhoon
上，上
hit
人就说，
and needed
因为不
repair.
单啊，刚
In
的台风天气，你知
1975,
道台风天气
Typhoon
很容易
Nina
吹落。
blew away a lot of the roof
那后
tiles,
来呢，
and there
这
was
个
no
上人
money
再
to
去
fix.
请人再把它补上
Since
去。
masters
可
need
是
to be
呢，
self-sufficient
后来
and
过
provide
一个
charity
月又被
funds,
吹掉
there
了。
was no money
那后上
to
人就
fix the roof.
跟我们
They
讲，
just let it
事不
go.
过三呐，哈，
That's
就
why
是
in the
这
early
个
photos of the
很容易
abode,
被吹掉，
there
后
were
来
no
上人
roof
就只好
tiles.
就先把整个屋瓦都撤下来，所以大家就会看到这个光秃秃的画面。那跟现在的
In
屋瓦，虽
1980,
然屋瓦很好
Master
看，但是
invited
跟
an
以前呢
expert
就
to
会有一定
rebuild
的
the roof
不
with
同点
cement.
哈。那
She
其实
asked
这
the
个不是
expert
一
to
个
put
那么
cement
简单。
tiles on the
那
roof
要是什
pieces,
么时候呢？
piece
在
by
我们
piece, and
在
created the
印顺
only
发完
cement
工以
roof
后，
tiles in the
那
world.
时候因为要礼请印顺 就后面有盖了，就是后面有加盖工程。那趁着工程期间，就顺便把我们的屋瓦给补起来。那这个屋瓦呢，就是用水泥去抹上去的哈。那其实上人在讲这一段的时候，我们也觉得很精彩。上人说他
That's
每
also
天
the
早上
time when
7点
Master
钟
wanted to
就要
invite
登
her
顶
master
了，
in
然
Sun
后开始
to
to
stay
抹
in the
水。
abode.
那因为那个屋瓦是排的很整齐的哈，所以上人是在下面跟着师傅说：“哎，你安呢到顶哈，你要怎么样？要再偏一点，要再偏一点哈，或者是要再怎么样才会直
Look
的。”
at how neat
上人在
the
下面
roof
指导，然后
tiles
老师
look.
傅在上面做哈。啊，这个真的不
And
要
now
攻啊，这
we
个
never
是
need to
要
worry about
要非
typhoon
常的有技
blowing
巧，这
the
样才会
tiles
做
away.
出来。那因为用水泥补上来的瓦，台风怎么吹就吹
The
不走哦，
builders,
所以这个是金色独一
the,
无二的
engi-
瓦非瓦。好，真
the
的是大家回
engineers
来，大家
squatted
都
on
看
the
到
roof
金
to
色的
make it,
屋瓦，就是非
and
常的
our
美。
master
那再怎么强的风都吹
stood
不
on the
动。
ground to
那我们从
to
天
tell
门口
him
进来，抬头看到我们的
the
金色，就会
distance
看到整
and
个水泥
yeah,
窗。
how far apart
那
they
其
should
实
be.
这个也是当时在做屋瓦的时候，整个一起把它做起来的。那我们从
After
下面
entering the
看
main
上来
gate
就
and
会
looking
很
at the
奇怪
roof,
这个
you
造
can
型。
see the three
那上
treasures
人就说这个
symbolizing the
造型
Buddha,
是一个很
Dharma,
奇
and
特的造
Sangha.
型。
It
为什么
shapes
呢？
like
因为
a pen
上人
holder,
是
hoping
平常
everyone
就是
makes
这
the
个人
best
形
use
的
of
造型。
life.
那笔呢，
This is a
上
dojo
人
for
也说现
spiritual
在在座
practice.
大家都知道，我
Master
们的智
hopes
慧就
that
是靠
even
笔。
you have to
所以上人说
peel
用笔可以
skin
怎么
as
样？要
paper,
让生命生活，
extract bone
就
as
拿它
pen,
剥
and
皮
drop
为
blood
纸，
as
剥
ink.
土
Live
为
life
笔，
to the
血
end.
为墨，
Dedicate body
以
and
禽
life.
兽献灯
You
会，
should
铁
still
棒来
live
配命。
a
好，这
great
是这样
wisdom
子。
life.
好，所以才会有这样的一个造型。好，那我们也可以看到说，大殿旁边的这个窗户啊，是
Yeah, that's why the
好
roof is in that
好
shape. On
那
both sides of the main
好
entrance,
好，那这个
entrance,
钟呢，这个
the
这个
windows
窗
are
户
in
的
the shape
钟
of
钟的
clocks.
造型也是很不
This
错
is
的。当
also
时跟
Master's
钟一
ingenious
样的，要
design,
提醒大家
reminding
时间不
everyone
要
not
过。
to waste any
好，
time
好，
and to
那
make
后
progress
面
every
呢
day.
几个
This shape
我
was
想大
very
家有
unique
机会
then.
回来金色就
Mr.
可以
Xie
来
said
体验一
it
下
took
哈。
them a lot
金
of
色
time
现
and
在的金
effort
色
to
跟以
complete.
前都不一样了，现在的
In
金色
order to
但
invite
是 最
Grandmaster
重
Yin
要我们
Shui
的
to the
大殿
abode, we
还是一
started
样
to
的哦。
expand.
我们的大殿还是一样的。那其实金色里面处处都
Now
有法。
the
那
abode
也
looks like
是
this.
欢迎大家回来慈济人
The
的
main
善心。
hall looks
那
just like
我
that,
今天
and
分
these
享到
are
这
the
边哈，感
aerial
恩
view,
感恩大家。
area shot of the abode.
非常感恩观音的分享哈，也麻烦您收掉
The
紧
main
张
hall
的
is
眼
very
神。
solemn and calm,
那
with
同时呢，这里啊就
with
是我
silent
想带我
teachings
们
everywhere.
呃
Every
实时
scene,
简报
every
哈，因为
object,
呢
every
简报
plant,
真
and
的非
every
常的
tree in
精
the
彩哈，
abode
所以我们也
has
很
a
持续
Dharma,
的分
as
享
well as
哈。
the wisdom
那
of
我们
Master and her
透过这样的一
disciples.
个简报的时候，其
So
实
we
慈济
welcome
已
everyone
经在
to
持
come
续
back
上半
home,
年了。
the
可是
spiritual
呢，这
home.
个图要我去讲故事，我能不能讲的那么好？但是呢，关于刚才在讲说，其实我们盖完金色以后，其实就没有那么
Even though
多
I've been in
事
Tzu
情
for 30
可以
years,
盖旁边的。那吃饭
I
不是为
cannot
了做
tell
什么
the
其他的事要
history
做
of the
什
abode
么
so
饭呢？
clearly.
所以你看盖了2个小屋子在旁边，可是对我们早期的参加的人，其实那2个小屋子我们其实是有进去过
Yeah.
的。
So
好，
look
但
at
是
how
现在
tough
其实已经
life
不是
was
这
at
样，
that
所以我们
time.
一直在做这样的一个改建哈。所以我们真的非常的感恩哈。所以我们香港的张明
Oh,
龙
and
师
the
兄
early
说，感恩
Tzu
师父高僧
volunteers
为我们非
enter
常详细讲
the
解
hut
上人一
and
九
the
六3年
little
在
wooden
西
house
部
before.
刻苦克难进修及稍后一段处
Brother
世
Mingguang
世
from
间
Hong
的
Kong
艰难岁月，
said, thanks
让
to
我们
Sister
对
for
这
giving
样
us
子的
the
情况有
thorough
深入的
story.
了解哈，感恩哦。那回眸来时草创时节，一幕幕的画面都让人非常的不
And let
舍
us
哈。
know
可
the
是呢，
history
同时间呢，我们的数满
and
师
let
姐
us
哦，她说
understand the
慈济
situation then very,
慈
very
悲
well.
发菩提心的精进修行者，是慈济世界的亲近源头。上人心包太虚，慈悲喜
Sister
舍，
Schumann
一
said,
笔脚印从花莲有走向全世界，实在是让人非常的感动。金色常住师傅们这里
this
英雄的
pure
行为，
origin of
辛苦
Tzu
辛苦
is
奉献，
very
是
touching.
为提供给全球慈济
Every step leaves a footprint. All Abode masters, hardworking. They work so hard and they provide warm food and lodging for Ciji members all over the world. Thank you for your sharing. Meiling sister from Kaohsiung said, we understand Master and Dharma and Abode Masters unselfish devotion. Thank you for helping us understand the Dharma lineage of Jing and the Ciji history. We should all remember the tough history. And when they see the salty, when the young generation try the salty tofu, it's actually an improved version of the old one. We really need to appreciate what we have and make more blessings for others. Yinghui sister from Tainan and Sister Guan from Canada also appreciate telling us the origin of Jingsi Abode and settle us down no matter wherever we are. Thanks to the thorough report, you help us understand the history. Thank you. Thank you for the valuable story. Oh, you can see it's a one-to-one model of the small hut in the Jingsi Abode. Right now, our master is visiting other cities. Many trees are swept out by the typhoon, so we need to regrow them. Sister from Yunnan, thank for the opportunity to listen to this history. Master says we need to use the history as our mirror so we can correct our mistakes. And for all the reports, we want to report the truth and guiding people to walk on the right path. Abode is the charging station for Ciji volunteers all over the world. Thank you, Sister Guanying, for the wonderful report and help us understand. No matter where we join Ciji, it's helpful to understand the history. Let's applaud to Sister Guanying for her wonderful story and the story. Thank you.